This is my PC from 2019. It has a Ryzen 3 3200G. I think my PC is a bit tired. I got up one day and I went on Minecraft and I was like, maybe I should record a video for my second channel. I have a second channel, by the way, link in the description. I'm gonna be playing games like Minecraft and more. Anyways, I was playing Minecraft, right? And the game crashed. I launched it again and somehow it duped my shulker box. I mean, I'm not complaining, but then my PC suddenly died like that. Black screen and I couldn't turn it on for some reason. So I was like, shoot, should I spend my hard-earned doubloons on a new PC? Short answer is I did. So I have an idea on what I want for the PC to be. A Ryzen 7 and a 7600 because I don't really need that good of a PC. I only play Minecraft. So I went on the online store and I searched the Ryzen 7 5700X. That is freaking expensive. 3 million IDR for a processor. 3.2 million IDR in USD equals to about $100. Might not seem a lot, but you know me, I'm a very cheap person. I'm not broke, I'm just cheap. But I was like, fuck it. But then I needed a GPU. Bro, what the? That equals to about 289 USD. But I bought it anyways. But you know, the thing is, I've never built a PC before. My old PC was a pre-built. Wait, how the frick do I build a PC? How to build a PC. Oh, Linus Tech Tips. How to build a PC. Last guide you'll ever need. 2024 update. That was like 2 years ago. 2024 is 2 years ago. And then the processor arrived. This is the box that the CPU came with because I bought the tray version. It didn't ship with the box, so it shipped with a freaking motherboard box. If I got the box version, the difference was like 400 IDR, and I do not want to spend an extra 20 bucks on a box and a fan. I also got a fan, which is this fan. It's like, what? I think this is a $6, I think. So even with the CPU and I bought a fan, it's still cheaper than the box version. Problem is, the PC is already built here because I asked my dad to assemble it like a few days ago when all the parts arrived. But I'm gonna take it all apart. I'm gonna ask my dad to do that. Alrighty, so first off, we have the CPU. Make sure you apply it in the right angle though, because if you don't, the CPU pins are gonna be bent. This is the right angle, just like this. When you're applying the CPU, you shouldn't put any pressure. It should just pop right in and pull this metal rod. Okay, that was kind of easy. Next up, we have the RAM sticks. I have 2 RAM sticks, DDR4, not DDR5, because DDR5 is really expensive. So make sure you put it in with enough pressure until you hear a click. Do the same for all the RAM stick that you have. For me, I have 2. Next up, I'm going to be putting on this CPU cooler, which is the Thermal East GT930. And we're going to be applying thermal paste first, though, just the right amount, just like this. If you put too much thermal paste, it's not good because it's going to get all over the motherboard. And I don't think you really want that, right? I don't know why, but I was kind of struggling putting the back plate on for the fan. Before screwing it in, make sure the fan is properly aligned, and now we're going to be screwing it in. But make sure to not overscrew it or else it's going to like put too much pressure on the CPU, and then plug this cable in here. That's the fan slot right there. If you don't plug that cable in, your fan's probably not going to turn on. Next up, we have the SATA M.2 SSD that is LARPing as an NVMe SSD. It looks like an NVMe SSD, but it's not an NVMe SSD. And we just screw this in just like that. But if you're screwing an M.2 SSD, make sure it's not bent. Next up, I'm putting on the I/O shield for my motherboard, which is this thing. I see a lot of people actually forgetting to put the I/O shield. Next up, we're going to be putting on the motherboard. Make sure to be extra careful and not scratch the back of the motherboard, and then screw it up with all the screws. This is actually going better than I expected for my first time building a PC. You know, you don't really need to put all the screws in the motherboard. However, I just really like to be safe. Better safe than sorry, you know? Next up, we have the big guns, which is the RX 7600 XT. Make sure to put this in carefully and make sure you hear a click when you put it in. And then we're going to be screwing it in. I actually made a big mistake here. I should have just plugged in all the motherboard cables before I plugged in the GPU because that's going to make my life 10 times easier. Now we're plugging in this huge ass cable, which is this cable. And after that, we're plugging in this blue thingy, which is this one in the motherboard. Like I said, if I didn't plug in the GPU first, this would have been 10 times easier. You can see me struggling here, especially with the USB one because it's literally right over there next to the GPU. Hey, I mean, this is my first time building a PC though. I think it's not bad. And the HD audio, bro, it's literally right below the GPU. And these colored cables, they're literally and below the GPU as well, like the HD audio. So I'm gonna have a hard time plugging these in. Hey, the order was like this and I somehow managed to plug all of them in. I did struggle, yes. Wait, I think that's literally it to building PCs. I've already put the power supply in. I didn't record it though because if I did, it's freaking, yeah, it was literally freaking chaos. Next up, we're going to be putting on this tempered glass panel. For you PC nerds out there, here are the specs of my PC. ASRock B450M HDV R4. ASRock AMD Radeon RX 7600 OC 8GB. Damn, bro, these names. MSI Mag A550BN 80 Plus Bronze. The CPU cooler is the Thermalase GT390 from China, I think. So I'm right now using Fedora, right? Because I just reassembled the PC and a lot of you really wanted me to go back to NixOS. So, you know, I'm gonna reinstall NixOS just to make the video feel a bit fresher, I guess. Let's go ahead and download NixOS. Right over here, we're going to go scroll down and click more, and then the ISO image. We're going to select the graphical ISO image. We're going to download this one, which is the 64-bit Intel/AMD, and we wait for the download to finish. Alrighty, let's flash the NixOS ISO using sudo dd. Let's go cd into downloads first. So this is the sudo dd command, sudo dd if, and then you're going to put the ISO name here, which is a pretty long ISO name, and then off is for the USB stick, which for me is dev sdc. And after that, we're going to go ahead and click enter. Type in our password first, but make sure you don't have any important stuff on your USB, but I don't have any important stuff here, so let's just go ahead and click enter here. Yo, it's done flashing. Let's go. I'm saying goodbye to Fedora after like 4 days. Yeah, I'm actually gonna be like the distro hopper YouTuber or whatever. So if you want to boot into USB, go ahead and go to your BIOS and then go to the boot section. Change the boot option 1 into your UEFI USB. Go ahead and go into exit, save changes, and exit. And over here, we're going to click yes. So installing NixOS is pretty easy. Right here, we're going to pick what you want. We're going to do installer Plasma with Linux 7 1.2. Welcome to the NixOS installer. Damn, we're going back to NixOS. American English, nice. It already knows where I live. That's great. For the keyboard, of course, we're going to do the US keyboard. So for my password, like usual, my password is a 6-letter word. We're going to do KDE Plasma because I just glaze KDE Plasma like that. I love it so much. So here I'm going to check allow unfree software because I still use stuff like Discord, Spotify, some other proprietary stuff. This really just depends on how you use NixOS or Linux, so feel free to check or uncheck that. Now we wait. 98%. Alrighty, we're inside of NixOS. I want to install a few things first before we get started. We're going to go to our configuration.nix folder. Let's do sudo nvim/etc/nixos and then configuration.nix. Alright, we're going to add LibreWolf. And then, oh yeah, I can't forget fast fetch, kitty terminal fish. We're gonna do sudo nixos rebuild switch, and now we let it rip. So I usually find my wallpapers from this GitHub repository. So in the clip when I was using Fedora, I was using this, but now I think I kind of like this one. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I think it'll look even better when I get the rose pine color scheme. Some of you were asking where I got my rose pine color scheme for KDE on NixOS. It's from this GitHub repository. I just download the rose pine colors. Let's just go ahead and download the raw file. Go ahead and go to global theme, and then on colors you're going to click install from file, and then click on the rosepine.colors, and now you have this. Let's just go ahead and apply it. Boom. Now we have rose pine. Oh wait, shoot, my country blocks DuckDuckGo. I actually have to go to LibreWolf settings. I'm going to do max protection, and we're going to use quad 9 with malware blocking. Now it works. The theme I usually install for my browser is the Sleeping Miku animated. Since a lot of you were asking what theme I use, I'm going to benchmark this inside of Prism Launcher, which is the Minecraft launcher that I use. Let's just go ahead and add Prism Launcher there. Oh, it's done installing. That was really quick. Oh yeah, we can't forget. Let's just do kitten theme first and set it to the rose pine theme. Now we fast fetch. I think I should just use the Java version 25, which is the latest version, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to add my Microslop account. I actually backed up my Prism Launcher instance on my drive. Let me just get it real quick. Yay, now we have the instance I used to play Minecraft with. And yes, that's my cat sleeping. Oh wait, I think I want to install a shader. A lot of people recommend me complementary shaders, Unbound, so we're gonna install the Unbound version. And we're also gonna install Bliss shaders. This looks interesting. Let's just install Solus and Bliss. And I think for now we're just gonna install these 3 shaders. Let's just go ahead and review and confirm. Only shader packs with a check will be downloaded. Okay. But the FPS is still consistent at like 1000 plus though. Or in the overworld, I'm still getting above 1000 FPS. Wow. I actually want to test out shaders. I've installed quite a few, but so far my favorite has been complementary Unbound. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie, this looks beautiful, and I'm still getting like 200 FPS. I'm using the very high settings. Dude, 200 FPS in Minecraft with shaders, it means that you can run pretty much anything, right? Oh my god, this looks freaking beautiful. I want to go to the end and see how good the end looks. This is the hole I dug. If you guys watched my video where I beat Minecraft Hardcore for the first time, you guys probably know this hole that I made. Damn, bro, the end looks so good. It looks so pink for some reason. I want to see how the other shaders look. Let's see Bliss shader. Dude, there's so much fog. It's so dark. I want to push it to its absolute limit. So there's this texture pack called Real Source Realistic Java, and the pack basically looks like this. That is really realistic. download. But even though when I was on my Ryzen 3 3200G, I was getting 500 something FPS inside of Minecraft. I think it's mainly because I use Linux. I'm gonna put this texture pack inside of my .minecraft folder. Minecraft, where's, oh, resource packs. Boop. Low realistic Java pack. Okay, I'm actually kind of curious. Oh, what? Bro, what is this? This doesn't even look good. What the frick is this bucket? Okay, I think I downloaded the wrong pack because my FPS is still what the frick is this sword? Bro, there's this mod pack called Conquest Reforged, and it looks like this. Let's just go ahead and download it. Is it a paid mod pack, though? Oh, I don't think it's a paid mod pack. Conquest Reforged mod pack fabric. Select game version. Let's just select the 121. I'm gonna go and quit this game. Whoa. Okay, add instance. Where's the, oh, here it is. Conquest Reforged Fabric. Oh, and also on my previous video, a lot of you were asking me to try out Gen 2 Linux, so I think we're gonna be trying out Gen 2 on next video. Oh, it's done. Let's just go ahead and click launch. Yo, why is it stuck loading here? Is the pack really that heavy? Whoa, what the frick is this font? We have no FPS display. I guess we're just gonna have to use F3. We're getting like, oh, stutterings. We're getting 40 FPS. Alright, first off, this GUI scale is really big. Let's do 2. Okay, this is way better. But damn, the FPS is like, oh, 90, 80? I can't lie, that is pretty good FPS with this high-res texture pack. If I were to run this on my old Ryzen 3 with Vega 8, I would probably get like 1 FPS. That's the sheep's so high-res. Wait, yo, wait. You look absolutely cursed, bro. I'm sorry they did that to you. Are they all like dark skin? This mod pack is very cool, but it's kind of unplayable because I get stutters every few seconds. Oh yeah, I haven't tested out video editing inside of Blender. Because back then on my Ryzen 3, it was lagging like crazy. Oh my god, dude. On my Ryzen 3, when I do this fast, like play the timeline, it lags. So I used to record with my CPU because my GPU was really bad, but now I can record with my GPU and I use CQP as my rate control. But now I can use 20, 21, whatever I want. Like I can even record at 360 FPS. Right now, I'm recording at 360 FPS, but YouTube can't even like see 360 FPS, so it's kind of useless. Dude, how could I have forgot? I haven't installed the fetch program. This is essential for LARPing. So to install this, we gotta use NixFlake. To use NixFlake, we gotta go to the NixOS wiki. If you want to enable NixFlake as well, I really recommend just reading the nix.wiki. Enable NixFlakes permanently in NixOS. So we're just gonna copy this command. Go inside of your configuration.nix. Now you can add it literally anywhere. I think this looks just about right. Now we just run sudo nixos rebuild switch. Okay, we're done. Now we're gonna do NixFlake init. It actually wrote it to my home folder, so we're gonna go ahead and move that to the NixOS folder. Sudo mv flake.nix/etc/nixos. Yep, it's there. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to open the flake.nix. Sudo nvim flake.nix. It says the description here, a very basic flake. I'm gonna clean up the flake real quick. Right now I'm rereading the NixOS wiki about flakes because I forgot how to use flakes. So over here, if you want to install the fetch program, we have to add this into our NixFlake. This is how my NixFlake looks like, and I'm pretty sure this will work because this is how I remembered I did it. And now we just do NixFlake update. Wait, I think I need to do sudo NixFlake update. Sudo NixFlake update. So we can't really do fetch yet. However, we can run it with nixrun github aerofill fetch. And there we go. We now have the 3D fetch with this. But I want to add it to my profile, so, you know, I can just do fetch instead of like nix run every time. So in order to do that, we're going to do nix profile install aerofill/fetch. Oh wait, I forgot to add the GitHub on the front. Fetch. Now it does work. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of nonsense and LARPing. See you guys in the next video.